gonna do Fátima and the Prophecies of Nostradamus. The author is called Fina da Armada, and we are in chapter 6. So if you haven't seen this book yet, you have to go to my playlist and go to Fátima books and then see the previous chapters that we have already started, okay? Okay, so the name of this chapter is Full Body Photography. They say that the lady from the sky that appeared in Fatima is the mother of Christ, and that her message is bundled with the evangelic religious message. Nobody comments about it. Verify the reader, and from the indications given by the authors and by the documentation, these thematics have already been explored in previous books. Okay, so this is the physical aspect of the apparition. It was apparently a female figure, very beautiful. It was envolved in light that blinded whoever looked at this light. It had an age that they thought it would have been from 12 to 15 years old. It was wearing a long skirt to the knee, and she had a shirt and a robe on top, maybe a cape. They are not sure, so the cape is something that the aliens, they often use, remember? The clothing was white, but the skirt and the robe had some strings that were golden. The jacket had about 2 to 3 strings on each sleeve. She was bringing something on her head that would cover her ears and her hair. She also brought a cross, which is a cross with some chains on her hands, and a sort of some collar with some chain looking round collar things, okay? And she also had a luminous ball on her waist, okay? She wouldn't execute any facial movements. She would talk without even moving her lips. She would only move her hands once in a while. She wouldn't articulate her inferior members on her locomotion. She would slide, coming from the high, from where the sun raises, and would disappear a little little by little in the opposite path that she came from. Other characteristics of her face: she's not a mother, she doesn't bring her a kid, nor she manifests any bearing a child. Okay, she doesn't look like she's bearing a child. She doesn't identify herself. She talks about a lady of the rosary as being another figure. Pray for Our Lady of the Rosary because only her can help you. She presents a female entity as being the Savior and not Christ. She was a bit, in a way, a bit rebellious, as she was bringing a skirt by her knees. It was an immorality at the time. Imprudent, she would commit bloopers sometimes. She came in August and the mediums weren't there, the kids weren't there. She would lie or would prophesize wrong, maybe on purpose. The war ends today, 13th of the 10th of 1917. It only ended in November of 1918. It shows the images through a ball that she has on her waist. She doesn't accept presents from the earth. She transmits messages to a woman without the boy listening, the little boy. So the friend of the boy, Lucinda, she hears it, but the boy doesn't hear her. She only sees her. Then the oldest one tells what she's hearing to the other friends, the other two kids. We call them the mediums. She asks them to learn. She asks this little girl to learn from a land where there wasn't school for girls. So at this time, there was still no school for the Portuguese girls, remember. Fina da Armada, the author of this book, therefore says that this apparition integrates herself on the fight of the Portuguese women at the time, the fight for instruction and obtain politic rights. The Portuguese woman still didn't vote. It imposes the equality between boys and girls. It makes the apparition asks to make two of those carrying religious. It's like it's like a little car, but they're pushed by people, and then they put the Christ or the religious entity on top of that little car, okay? And then they show it through the city. She also asks that this car will be taken by 4 girls and another one by 4 boys. It wasn't a costume women to pick up these religious little cars. It makes recommendation to the use of the monies. she is, how can I say this? She's not a liar, and everything she says she's gonna do, she does. She doesn't forget. She promises a miracle from 3 months in the future, and this miracle does happen. It recommends the praying, and it teaches the preachings. It didn't ask to go to the church nor to pray for the sinners. Can you remember that, guys? I'm not a churchgoer very often. It asks to pray with the cross in your hand constantly, and she also has something on her hand to be the Christ of God. The mediums, the kids, they identified this cross as being the cross of the rosary. Okay. Could it really be a creature? Question mark. An image constructed with intentional characteristics? Question mark. A species of a sort of hologram fabricated from the solar lights because the people present noticed a reduction of the sunlight in the period of the apparitions? Question mark. The fact that only the mediums, the little kids, saw this apparition could we have thought of this to be a projection from the interior of their heads? In the first time, one of the little kids, Francisco, needed to pray so that he could see the apparition before Lucia said that an angel had told them previously. Lucia, she says, an angel had given them something to eat for her and to drink to the other two, and she interpreted the substance and the drink as a communion. These substances maybe could permit them to see what nobody else could see, and the fact that there were solid substances for Lucia and liquids for the others suggests that they were prepared previously for different missions. But the explanation that it was only a projection from the interior of the heads falls to the ground because the documentation by the witnesses, the kid, the other extra medium witnesses, they see the ramp of light and the curvature of the bush, and they also see the fog. Chapter 7. Witnesses of the miracle of the sun. A solar manifestation is something well known and divulged due to its weirdness. Other testimonies are not as known since they express a very surprising technology. I chose only 6, 3 males and 3 females, even though there are dozens. Me and Joaquim Fernandes, we reunited 100 witnesses. It is not to admire that the 3 best descriptions of the event of 13th of October that say clearly that it wasn't the sun, but an object that went in front of the sun. These were written in October by 3 women that naturally had nothing to lose professionally or academically. You have to add that even though two of them wouldn't cite their name, they did it with initials. And this is a quote of of the two of them. Suddenly, a luminous disk of the size of a big, um, one of those breads that you eat in church, that the preacher gives you to swallow. And it came in front of the sun. The horizon was limited in a perfect circle by luminous beams, the same in distance and size from one another's. LS, it's the initial. Then the other quote, actually, we're going to have three quotes. We saw a silver veil with a round form as if it was the full moon. You could hear screams from all over when this silver veil came in front of the sun, just like a white flock of snow, brilliant without hurting my eyes. It was coming for us, turning again towards the sun. This one is called Maria Augusta Saraiva Vieira dos Campos. The third one is at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, the sky where a cloud was moving, it became brilliant, and with our surprise, when a big globe, silver, making a small turn and appearing to crossing the clouds. It did this for 3 times without stopping, maybe 3 to 4 minutes. On this occasion, in our backs, it was happening, the scene of the 3 kids next to the tree, to the azinheira tree. This is the lady J, the Beta Alta. After this small, kind prelude, she describes, suddenly it appears with all its splendor, very different from the normal, a cloud or a red flame, very brilliant, and the sun, and this was covering the sun. After brief moments, that globe or sphere that was agitating nervously as if it was full of electricity. The women noticed that it wasn't the sun. It was only the men that gave technical details. One of them says this: it wasn't like the spherical moon. It didn't have the same tone nor the same brights and darks. It looked like a slice, like when you cut, when just like what you call this, one of those shells, seashells, just like the inside of the shell. This was the lawyer and writer Almeida Garrett. This writer is very known here in Portugal. He's like very known for his poets, okay? The next quote, he says, another man says, sometimes it appeared that the solar globe was surrounded by an aureola of flames. Sometimes a metallic disc, just like silver. This was um, a magazine, okay? Okay, so guys, I'm gonna show you a photo. Okay, this is the testimonies of José Sotomayor. This is also known, that also did a drawing, okay? So as you can see, guys, it's kind of surrounded by lots of lights. It looks like a sphere. So it could be what they're seeing inside in the middle, that round thing, could be the inside of the sphere, okay? Let's continue. Okay. It was like you were looking at a disc where to a glass disc where the glass hasn't been cleaned, so it's still a little bit it's like there's a little bit of a foggy inside, you know. It was illuminated from behind, and the periphery was not as lighted, okay? It had like a rotation movement around this disc, okay? It was like a crystal with a little bit of fog inside. A majestic magnetic disc. This was an engineer, Mario Godinho. He said as well, this magnetic disc, he confidences this engineer, it lifted off like a tumor that her mother had on her eye, on her left eye, and never came back on the 35 years that followed that she lived. So this apparently was a miracle that happened to the mother of this man, of this engineer. Beautiful miracle, guys. Really enjoyed this. Okay, so let's go for chapter 8. I'm really enjoying this, guys. We're gonna finish chapter 8 and we're gonna start another one, okay? Okay, so what's gonna happen, guys, is this one is gonna be the number 8, and this one is called The Different Visions of the Two Brothers. In October, Dr. José Pereira Gens also assisted the said miracle of the sun, together with some of his family members. Two of these family members were his brothers, and all of them were the sons of the professor of primary school from the father of Lucia. Carlos was prior de Orem and archaeologist on the history of Fátima, and he's pointed as the first priest to pray the church of Covadiria at the 13th of April of 1920. The other one was called Luís Manuel, being responsible for the civil registry in Vila Nova de Orem. He would deal with documents, official documents, with responsibility exact. There could be no mistake nor subjectivity. Meanwhile, José was a doctor. He wrote Meanwhile, José was a doctor. He wrote the interpretation that he saw. Luís Manuel didn't have the courage to write
down his impressions. He would close himself and didn't even like talking about it. Tells his grandson, Ricardo Pereira Gens. His grandfather didn't connote the experience of 13th of October as being something of religious. He said that what he saw was something. He said that what he saw was not a miracle. Wow, guys. But a phenomenon that he could not explain. Meanwhile, he was a religious man. I remember to see my grandfather in church, but I don't remember to have seen him go to Fátima to church. So, guys, what you can see this, guys, this is a doctor that was religious. Oh, guys, I'm shivering all over. It's not the first time with this book, guys. This doctor lost his faith. Actually, he didn't lost his faith, but he never went to Fatima afterwards for the church. You know, the famous church of the 13th of October. So, guys, you can already start to see that for some people it was a big blessing, but for others it was confusion time. And this doctor is a little bit like me. That's how I feel about religion. I believe in it, I do enjoy it, but I use it as a way to instruct myself and learn more about people and about the human being, and not to be asking money or, whatever cults and church does. Okay, guys? So you can be religious but not go to church. You just have to practice the goodness in your heart, and God will look over you and the UFOs as well. I can promise you that, okay? Luís Manuel Pereira Gens, the other one, he was the registry person. He noticed a third path, and this perception didn't change his belief in church. The difference of interpretation between these two brothers, starting from a same vision, must have been current. What seems to have happened here is that what they interpreted or saw inside the official thesis, accepted and established, they were able to write without fearing the ridicule or conflict reaction. The other ones, being credence or non-credence, in a way or the other one, continued. They only closed and died with their silence. Okay? So you can see, guys, that both of them had different, the three of them had three different paths on the believing of what happened. Why do you think the miracle happened? Asked John Haffert to the agriculture person Manuel Antonio Renido at the place of the Amureira in the near Fatima, to prove that with something from up above. The lady Jota, she wrote, on the other hand, that the globe or the sphere looked like it was becoming bigger in size and wanted to kind of rain or talk to the earth. So it was kind of sending some sort of messages. She left this registered. From where it came or where it went, we don't know. But this fact happened, okay? And this is the photo of the two brothers, José and Luís Pereira Janes. The doctor on the left in 1926 was the one that initiated and directed the medical post of assistance and verified the cures. Okay? So this doctor was the one that verified the cures, the miracles that happened, to all the people that were there. So incredible, guys. What do you think? I'm very, very surprised for that, guys. Let me just check if I have some music here. I don't think I have music on this phone. Nope. Nope. Okay, so we're gonna have to go here to the other one. Okay, guys, so we're gonna finish here. I'm just gonna show you the book again. Fátima and the Prophecies of Nostradamus from Fina da Armada. And I tell you guys, this is freaking awesome. I'm really loving. The next chapter is gonna be chapter 9. Okay, and it's called Secrets, the Crosses, and the Triangles. Okay, so it's gonna be a deeper dive into this incredible fact of Fatima. Okay, the incredible apparitions. And I also wanted to talk to you guys that me and a very good friend of mine, trees biologist, a wild trees biologist, will be doing a very good we'll be doing an awesome show very soon about angel hair. Okay, and we're going to talk a little bit about Fatima, and you guys are gonna enjoy. I can promise you that, guys. Okay, let me see if I have some music here. Damn, why don't I have any music here? Okay, I think I have to go to my YouTube, guys. Sorry for that. Thank you very much for joining. We had a beautiful time together. I'll be premiering this tonight. Okay, let's see if I can find anything. Damn, why is there no music here? Okay, let's see if I can find something here. Okay, let me see. No, not this. Let me see. Okay. nature. Join the adventure. Feel the reggae light.
Look at what my wife planted the other day. Look, some lettuce over there. Quite nice, right?
Oh yeah!
Chilling by the beach, vibe so sweet, we're feeling hurry.
Oh, look what I found, guys!
Leading us on this mystical journey.
It's either from a playing phone or it's an old phone.
Sing with unity, spreading love and harmony, embracing diversity. Come on, come join the Reds Jam way. Together we'll conquer. We won't be led astray.
Hey!
Guided by the reggae vibes, we'll find our way in this epic
That's the truth.
we'll make our play.
See you soon, my people. John P loves you.